All right, guys, this year the Krueger Show is partnered with Underdog Fantasy. That's right. This football season, Underdog Fantasy gives fans a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You can check out their weekly pick'em players, where you pick between 2 to 5 players and select whether they'll go higher or lower on their game stats. Sign up using the promo code KRUEG, KRUEG, and they'll match you up to $100. All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little breakdown, little review of J.T. O'Sullivan's quarterback school analysis of Brock Purdy's Week 4 historical performance against the Arizona Cardinals. And, of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Get the brisket chili. Tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed J.T. O'Sullivan's quarterback school breakdown of Brock Purdy's performance against the Arizona Cardinals. If you look at the numbers, Purdy was spectacular. 20 of 21, 283 yards. Touchdown, no pick, sacked only once, a QBR of 97.2, a quarterback rating of 134.6. He was on one all day. He was fantastic. This was a game where he didn't necessarily do it with his legs outside of the pocket. He did it all with his arm and his processing, and just several of the things that JT goes through in the breakdown were phenomenal to watch, and really we'll get into what it all amounts to. But there were several plays that I really enjoyed his breakdown of. The first one was the drift post to Ayuk, and he kind of just points out the great precision that Brock has in the intermediate game, describing it as surgical precision. Lots of horizontal action at the line of scrimmage pre-snap, and yet if you look at Brock's footwork on that drift post, it was just very, very precise. He makes it look easy. But that was the kind of thing that was really, really nice. And then to see him not only with the precision on the footwork and staying balanced in while he's moving in the pocket, the precision with the ball location was fantastic. And the one thing that's pretty consistent really throughout the day and really throughout Brock's tenure with the 49ers, he puts the ball consistently on his receivers' hands in a number of different plays, maintaining balance in his drop all the way through, despite the sometimes complex footwork. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The second play where he saw Purdy hit CMC in the left flat on the choice route, and he had Kittle wide open down the seam. Didn't get him the ball. Kittle was wide open in the end zone down the seam if Brock wanted to let it breathe a little bit. But, JT was talking about how, really Brock was looking for CMC on that route. And CMC was the guy that he wanted to go to, and he never really gave Kittle extra time. He also, wanted to get it out. I mean, I think it's about also getting the ball out and not giving up negative plays, not holding the ball in the pocket. But if he'd held it for an extra second, Kittle was wide open down the seam after Brock kind of faked the defender out of the seam defense right there, and with his look to McCaffrey, and then just, the other thing that just JT mentions, and it's pretty obvious when you watch Brock, the accuracy. You can do all these things and read it the right way and have all the right footwork, but if you don't have the accuracy, if there's one word that I would use to describe Purdy, it's the accuracy. The guy's tremendously accurate with the football. I thought another great little breakdown by JT was, showing how Purdy quickly processed from left to right and went from 3 to 2 to 1 on the full field read on the ball where he found J.P. Mason. That he's reading that and going through his progressions at a lightning speed, and that is something that 23-year-old quarterbacks with this level of experience oftentimes don't get to their third progression in a pattern that quickly. He read it instantly, and then read his second, he went through the progression of number 2 instantly, and then was very decisive and got the ball out quickly and accurately to J.P. Mason for a nice little completion. That was a nice play to watch. I thought it was interesting on the fourth play they broke down where Kittle was open on an in route and on the ball that went from Purdy to CMC, and he chose CMC on the loop back inside. One, it looks like Purdy, who looked a lot for Kittle last year, like maybe the game plan was really to feature CMC because it seemed like there was more than a couple situations where he could have gone to other guys. He could have gone to Kittle. Kittle was open on the in route, and he crossed Brock's face, and it was an easy to complete ball. But he also had a little pressure off the defensive left side on his right side, and he got the ball out to the left to CMC on the loop back inside. Once again, I mean, when you have a bevy of weapons like the Niners have, and you have great play design, a lot of times there's more than one guy open on a particular play. And in this particular play, he went to CMC and he had Kittle wide open. I thought the fifth play they broke down when Purdy went to CMC on the ball where he hurdled K. Gerald Clark. I just think that it was great seeing JT kind of break down all of the play design that went into that. With the pre-snap shift and the 2-by-1, and just, you get the ball to Juice, you get Juice out in the flat, out in front, and it really stressed the defense horizontally. And ultimately what it looked like was a lot of eye candy before the play snap, and then you've got ultimately the ball out to CMC in the flat with Juice out in front. And then it comes down to something that he didn't mention in the video that we talked to some of the guys in the locker room about, how, they had noticed that K-Trell was going low a lot. And so McCaffrey was anticipating him to go low and then hurdled him. So that's watching your film and studying your opponent and knowing their tendencies. Offensive players have tendencies, but guess what? Defensive players have tendencies. And sometimes you'll see something on the film that will say, hey, you know what? Look for a guy like this to he's not going to wrap. He's going to shoot his body right at your calves, and you got an opportunity here to hurdle him. And so I thought that was the product of CMC's film study, but it was a great little breakdown by JT. I thought the sixth play they broke down on the deep ball from Purdy to Ayuk on the post, which 7-step drop, quarters coverage. The defensive back played the man and not the ball, and the Niners got a little lucky there because the defender rotated back and really didn't play the ball in the air, played the man. You could argue that Purdy threw him open, threw Ayuk open. Brock threw to the open spot. It looked like a double coverage, but ultimately, he threw the ball to the open spot and kind of threw Ayuk, a little bit more, made an anticipatory throw. It was a great catch, by the way, by Ayuk, who's just had these amazing catch radius and ball skills all summer. He adjusts to the ball in the air as well as any receiver in the game right now. But I thought that was interesting how in the midst of all this great play design and a really nice anticipatory throw by Purdy and a great catch radius by Ayuk, the Niners got a little lucky on that play. Got a little lucky. If the DB who's dropping into coverage decides to play the ball and not the man, it may be an easy pick. Instead, he played the man, and Purdy, it looked like he was underthrown, but if you go back and look at it again, it looked like he kind of led him to the open spot. A great anticipatory throw there by Brock. I thought the seventh play where they break down Purdy to CMC on the touchdown pass, the fact that Purdy quickly processed what he saw at the line of scrimmage and showed a ton of poise in the midst of a closing pocket and processed quickly, got the ball out quickly and accurately on the touchdown pass from Purdy to CMC. So there's just a lot. There was a lot of great stuff in this video, and I really enjoyed it. The ball that Brock threw in the second half to Ayuk, you bootleg away to outside the numbers the other way, and he hits Ayuk on the sail route. Huge play. It was really maybe the biggest play of the game, but it was a great play design. It was a play action pass, but the real greatness, I think, on this play was the ability for Brock to flip his hips and still get something on the ball and to maintain his balance and keep his balance and keep his legs under him and still be able to drive the ball down the field. Sometimes if you see a quarterback flip his hips, he's off balance. And when he flips his hips and he's off balance, then the ball hangs. In this situation, we saw, Brock hit Ayuk for a huge play on that sail route, and it's a bootleg action, away from and then he goes outside the numbers the other way after he flips his hips and gets a lot on the ball. I mean, that was beautiful design, but it was also great execution by Purdy, and he threw a dime. He put it right on Ayuk. Ayuk didn't have to move left or right. It was right on him. I think JT also made a great point in watching this video that, some of the 7-step drops that they did against Arizona are going to be a problem against the Cowboys this week because of the Cowboys' ability to pressure the quarterback and burn the edges on their defensive line. They got a lot of pass rushers. We think about Micah Parsons, but there's Sam Williams, there's Dorrance Armstrong, there's Dante Fowler, there's Sam Williams. They've got a bunch of guys that can get off the edge and really pressure the quarterback. And I would imagine the game plan this week against Dallas will be to very much limit the 7-step drops that we saw this week against Arizona. And then there was the couple more throws in the second half that I thought were incredible. Purdy with the back shoulder dime to Ayuk on 3rd and 4. Once again, excellent precision on 3rd down, trying to put the ball away. Back shoulder throw to Ayuk. Puts it in a spot where nobody can catch it except for Ayuk. Just a flat-out dime on 3rd and 4. Just another beautiful pass by Purdy, and just kind of showed the precision. And then the last one that he looked at was Purdy on the 3rd down ball to Ray McLeod. Once again, another throw outside the numbers from Brock that came out on time, in rhythm, great precision, great timing. And it just kind of shows, I love this video that JT, first of all, I really enjoy JT's quarterback school because it's real football, and he's going through, and he's not just rah, rah, rah. There were times he was critical of Shanahan's play design. There were a couple plays that he was like, I don't know what the game plan was here. And he was kind of questioning some of the things that Kyle put out there last week against the Cardinals. But let's focus on Purdy and not Kyle for a second. The efficiency of Purdy, the precision, the surgical precision, mix in the fact that he's a little bit more athletic than you think, especially within the pocket, a lot more aggressive than you would typically think for those who want to call him dink and dunk. He was very aggressive getting the ball out and down the field in this game. And the combination of play designed by Kyle Shanahan, a group of really talented weapons, and a very smart precision passer and an efficient mover within the pocket like Brock Purdy shows that you can do an awful lot of things. At times we saw Shanahan stressing the defense horizontally. At times we saw Purdy with full field reads, very impressive for a 23-year-old quarterback. But ultimately what we're looking at is Brock consistently throwing with timing and anticipation, showing poise in the pocket, showing quick processing ability, showing an ability to maintain his balance while flipping his hips on throws, on drops where it's very difficult to flip your hips and maintain that balance and maintain, you're keeping your feet under you and having enough power on those throws. He shows an ability to flip his hips on his drops and still get an awful lot on it. I thought excellent accuracy on the back shoulder to Ayuk, great precision and timing on the 3rd down throw to Ray. There's a lot there to really, really like. And then now you can see kind of when you watch that film review, and I would encourage everybody, go watch JT's quarterback school, and I'm sure he does great stuff every single week. It's going to become a regular of my review every week as well. But what you see here is how dangerous the trio of factors can be when coupled together. When you have, a quarterback who's efficient and precise and athletic and smart and can make full field reads And then you got the combination of that with a talented array of offensive weapons and some amazing design by Shanahan, who understands how to put certain defenders in conflict, how to stress out a defense vertically, horizontally, how to stress out a defense by using a dizzying array of formations and pre-snaps, shifting and motion to create eye candy pre-snap that kind of fools the defense. And ultimately what it really does is it creates a little bit of hesitation, and then you got a quarterback playing with phenomenal timing and confidence, making the anticipatory throws, showing that poise in the pocket, showing an ability to process quickly what he sees. And then you mix in an array of Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, CMC, Juice, Ronnie Bell, Ray McCloud. I mean, it's almost unfair. It's almost unfair. And what's the result? 30 points a game. And win after win after win. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krueger Show. Thanks to JT O'Sullivan, by the way, for doing an amazing breakdown and on his quarterback school deal on YouTube. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krueger Show on YouTube.